Hello, everybody. Happy, happy day, happy bodies. Um, I just getting us going live on Instagram. I am here with my amazing friend Marco Tessior, and we wanted to have a little chat about bodies. And are you listening to your body? And I was telling Marco before we started this live, I just finished the first of a 21-day series of energetic exercises on body, earth, and evolution. And it was such a brain melt that I don't have a brain. So my body's going to talk, and maybe the bodies will listen. And Marco maybe can, hook a sister up.
I love this, and thank you for not having a brain and keep going, because oftentimes it's like what really slow us down is the brain and is the mind, and it's like not using the mind to like not really listening what we know and what the body whisper, or sometimes even what the body screams.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were talking about what to call this, and Marco was like, "Does your body whisper or does it scream?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think it tries to whisper. Our bodies try to whisper, but they end up screaming because we don't listen."
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for you because often this is a conversation that we hear and listen sometimes in access consciousness. Although what I found different with you is like in your body classes, especially, this conversation is presented in a very energetic way as well.
Hmm.
And so you're inviting us with that specific class to know that the body are constantly in communication into a conversation. The body class with you has this energetic component, which I didn't find always. And I was really pleased that I could not control my body after that.
Oops.
I've been your host at the castle like in the last couple of years, and the last year was amazing because even I couldn't like wake up when I don't know the speaker wasn't working, and so my body was just like doing its own things, and it's such an amazing invitation to know that we can just allow our body to go and create and contribute in a way that um, we often don't even know is possible.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, I've had some really cool conversations lately about bodies, um and I was telling a story the other day on a podcast that'll be out next week, about when I started as a somatic psychotherapist. I was like a body centered psychotherapist, and I did a lot of trauma work, through helping people process trauma through their bodies, in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And I always say that the bodies schooled me, like the bodies taught me about bodies and what bodies are capable of. And it was, I did a lot of training and all that, but it was really the bodies that sat in front of me, and I would, guide them to, I would guide the person to be present with their body, and then their body would just spontaneously unwind. Like, it might have some movement, or it might, whatever was going on, but the body would just like generate all this healing and change. And years, decades of trauma would like leave somebody's system for good, or their body would give them information about their relationships, or something going on in their life that they wanted to explore. So we'd always go to the body to find out, what's up, like what's available here. So it was just like, I don't know, I guess I did that for about 13 years. I mean, I still do in a lot of ways. But with that modality, it was like, go to the body, and the body will give you what you're looking for. It will show you what's possible. It will heal itself, and it, like, that was for me, like, it was like after that, I mean, that just set me up for the rest of my life of being like, okay, these bodies that we have are incredible. They're such an incredible resource, but it has nothing to do, like the resource of our bodies really has nothing to do with our minds. And when we, like you said, our minds slow us down. So when we go into with thinking and trying to control, and whether it's something about your body or something about your life, you're like, I know I can do this, I can figure this out, it's like, it becomes so stressful, and then we have all these like biochemical reactions to that and neurological reactions. We can't relax. Like we just cut off our relationships with our bodies, and it's like cutting off this vital nutrient that we require. Like our bodies require that connection. We require that connection to really actually thrive.
In saying that, you really be an invitation for this different relationship with the body, and not just with the body, but still with using the body, like including the body in a totally different way. Sort
Mm-hmm.
of, I notice also sometimes we so used to protocols that we also use access as a protocol. Oh, you should do this and then that and then that, because there is a system. The
Yeah,
system is
and he's talking about, if anybody doesn't know what access is, access consciousness, which is I mean, most people that follow me do, but some don't. A beautiful, energetic modality that is, it's not even a modality, it's like a universe, that just, it has energetic tools for changing anything, and a lot of body tools as well. So
so,
sorry, go ahead.
no. What I'm just saying is like oftentimes when we have tools and we have systems, because also Access is really much an organization setting system for our own awareness and for our own awareness of our body and everything. And oftentimes we follow the system as a protocol, step
Uh-huh.
1, step 2, step 3, which is very processual.
Yeah.
While what I really got from you, and I'm very grateful for a personal story as well, it's that you invite us to be a space where then the allowance of this space that this space creates, that's where the body can actually have a conversation, show us, change, and engage with us in a different way. That, like, if we only follow the protocol, we're basically still walking our body through things rather
Yeah.
than be the space of receiving what
Yeah.
the body require and using the system to be the energy and
Yeah.
be in providing as well what is required in that specific moment for the body, from the body, to change, to maybe receive some energy or energy work or
Yeah.
body processes, which are all tools of these incredible things called access consciousness.
Yeah.
And really great create, like, receive, like, explore a space of ease and listening, which
Yes.
we're not invited to. And for me, has been a massive change, I would say, in my, not just in my daily life, but in a specific topic for which I contact you after and be like, Heather, thank you. I'm so grateful, because the way you invite me and us in your classes, especially in the body classes, to commune with our body, which is a little bit
Mhm.
different than having just a relationship. Commune is a lot more from space
Yeah.
and from also relaxation and listening and
Yes.
allowing the body to unwind and say, hey, I require this.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Most of the time, it doesn't make sense and it creates change.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, our bodies are always giving us information, and we, so many people are ignoring it constantly. And the funny thing is there tends to be kind of some people have a real resistance to having that communion with their bodies and listening to their bodies and giving their bodies say, in how their life goes, and the thing that's amazing about that is that when we really are willing to let go into that, into the space of our bodies, it's like like everything gets greater, so it's just so funny that we're like, no, I don't really want to do that, but like I want my life to be greater. It's like that's not how it works, because your body is an enormous resource for living, thriving, creating on planet Earth, not just in regards to itself, like the health of your body, the functionality of your body, but also like how you create your life and your relationships and all of that. And I would say, the tools of Access, like I don't know if I would even describe Access as a system, because it's kind of like, here's a bunch of tools, go use them and see what happens, like see what you want to create. And the body processes that are in the 3-day body classes are these energies that you get 60 of them in a class. You get a manual, you play with them, you give and receive them for 3 days. So you're steeping yourself in these energies and your body in these energies. And the processes themselves just like go in, and our bodies and the receiving of these energies, and like being like introduced to these energies, and then also like really again like steeped in these energies. It undoes all these places where we've refused our bodies, where we've cut ourselves off from our bodies, where we've made our bodies, solid and unchangeable and, at the effect of the world. It just undoes that. And then what's left is the brilliance of your body, which is the consciousness that your unique body is. And this like I always see it as like they're like layers of mud that we've kind of like piled on top of our bodies that keep our bodies from being as alive as they can be, and also keep us from having communion and connection and listening to our bodies. And in the body classes, we just those layers of mud just go away, and you can sleep for the whole time. And then you're just different. And I want to speak also to because I have right now I have 4 3-day body classes on the books in Bahrain, in Italy at the Castello di Casalborgone, in Manchester, England, and in Seattle, from now until August. And the castle is such a unique, beautiful place to do a body class. The castle is this incredible castle that was created by the founders of Access Consciousness, and it is an enormous, immense facilitator space of silence and beauty and possibility. It will completely shut your mind down, and it is a huge, like, just being there, even without a class, is just a massive contribution. And then you do a body class there, and it's like, oh my gosh, the magic is just unbelievable.
What about your body classes there is the silence became really perceivable. And the silence is also one of the elements that allow body to change. Because silence is also silencing your mind, silencing what you conclude and what you define bodies can and can't so far. And the things I learned about body classes is that all the bodies contribute to the bodies. And in the case of the castle, you claim really this co-facilitator, which is the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Invite the castle to contribute. And a place with such of elegance and greatness, I would say. Because greatness is an energy that you breathe in those rooms. Around the garden, in the places, and it's a place that is so available. I first time I was there, I was surprised about the amount of masterpiece. They hanging on the wall, they did not have protection. I was like, what? Seriously? This living museum has kind of like, you can dialogue with all that, reach so close and see how they're made and what they whisper. And the body is like receiving all this in body class even more. Like this. I love what you say. Like, yeah, you keep the mud out, and well, basically, we clear all these layers, and like after the 3 day body class, you have this companion, this partner, which is your body,
Mm,
now speaks. Then
that's
now
beautiful.
contribute. Then now it just like merge out of all. And I personally, I thought I was like pretty connected with my body. I was like, well, I can already have a sense, and I can sense other bodies. But then like after your classes, like something else was available, and was this space.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't have words for it. It's just that to the space. It goes beyond the conversation. Yeah, listen to your body. No, no, no. It's not just about listen your body. It's about include your body in your life.
yes,
What you can think is available. Because
yes, yes. And, not everybody will choose that. And yet, if you know that this, like anybody listening, that, if you're like, wow, if your body's asking for this or you're leaning in, it's like that's, I, I've seen it again and again and again that when people follow that and they really are willing to let go into that beautiful communion with their bodies, listening, allowing their bodies to lead in certain, areas and just like really receiving from their bodies more. Um, their lives just get greater and greater and greater, and their bodies do as well. It's pretty phenomenal, and I love that you can do a 3 day body class, and on the other side of it, you're just completely different. Your relationship with your body is completely different. Your listening to your body is different. Your life is different. And you might have just slept on the table in deep, deep peace and relaxation all weekend. It's terrible. It's way too easy.
it is. And if I love to share just a little part of um, a crazy story for me, which really like invited me um, to experience a completely different level of possibility with the body. And this is where like you really like your words really and your energy really popped for me, being like, this is what she was actually inviting us. This is the possibility. Because we presume a lot based on our previous experience, and then something switch, and we're like, often we're like in the space of like, oh wait, this is it. This is the change I was asking for. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. So I had an accident where the tendon on my knee broke, and it was like just the night before a departure from South Korea. I moved to Bangkok, Thailand, and I was like, "This is so funny. This never show up for me." But then, like when I was there and I was recovering, I was constantly in this check with my body of like, "Hey, what do you require? What can I be and choose to create more space and ease for recovery?" I plan to stay 10 days. I mean, it's not 2 days, or what can we do? And it was like this for the first couple of days was like rest, enjoy, rest. Interestingly, I book the largest and biggest space as a suite as a hotel room. Then on my trip, I book it before for the dates. I was like, wait, really? Did I book it, or like you buddy invite me to just like level up because there was something in processing? And if this is accident is not a trauma, what actually invited me to look and to include as sometimes you just require to stop
Yes.
and stop and receive and connect and stop. Yeah, it's part of the movement. It's part of the body. The body requires stop to process what you and your mind and your energy sometimes just don't want to stop to process, because maybe things are amazing. You don't stop because you keep wanting. However, 3 day in, I'm like constantly being like, "Hey, how's it going?" And so, and my body was like, let's get out." Like, I'm not sure I get the part to getting out. Like, I have what is called the stick you use to walk.
Mm. Crutches.
The crutches, I have a crutches. I'm like, really? You want to get out? And my buddy goes like, let's hang out tonight. For me, it was like crazy. I asked 5 times. I'm like, did I get it correct? Let's hang out tonight. So I'm supposed to meet a friend at night in a rooftop bar. And in Bangkok, there's not quiet rooftop
Yeah.
bars, dancing and DJ. And I'm like, really? So I did. And every second I was like, we okay? We okay? Should we go in? And I have this metal stick, which also show to people, hey, I'm not the most like wealthy, like I'm not wealthy, well, I'm most healthy here.
Mm-hmm.
Please be careful. I'm gonna be the amount of not just fun, but the amount of like people that like also come to talk to me like randomly was very interesting. I was like, what's going on? My friend was like, do you know them? I'm like, no. Wrong to you, and just like this space to be, this is interesting. I'm like, okay, let's see. Go to late night, get back. In the morning I woke up, my leg was like 20 times better, 20 times lighter. And I was like, this is like, to me, this was the kind of like a risky idea.
Yeah.
And what I really got that like my body required that type of energy.
That's so cool.
The energy of fun, the energy of movement, the energy of like body dancing, even though I was like on a chair.
Yeah.
Mostly the whole time.
Yeah.
But that was the space that created and be a communion for my body to receive certain energy and to kind of like realign with certain energy.
Wow.
That in my mind would be like, no, we're not going to do this for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Because obviously,
hey, like, do I need ice? Do I need, anti-inflammatories, or whatever? It's like, but your body's like, no, I need to go be around people.
And obviously, I went to international hospital, got an X-ray, got all that was required. Constantly checking, do I require this? The body, yes. Okay, cool. Do I require this? Sure. Do I require this? No. Okay, cool. Let's go next. And like the unwinding of this for me was like so mind-bending, but at the same time it was actually showing the possibility you've been talking all along.
Yeah.
It was like, if all this is a plot to allow me to actually sit and be it and experience it like in a way that like, A, you're not gonna distract from it, A, you're not gonna doubt it. Well, this was like incredible. And when I talk with the people with this enthusiasm, they're like, you broke your tendon and you're this enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Like, well, apparently.
Exactly. Yeah. That is so cool.
Sure, I'm gonna have a surgery. I'm gonna have all that is required, because the amazingness of this access consciousness, this organization and this system and these tools that we've been given when we choose classes is that it includes everything. It doesn't judge and doesn't really separate with anything. So if your body requires surgery, go for the surgery and use all the tools you have to even recover faster or to get ready for the surgery as well. It's not something, it's not an alternative, which the things I love, is an integration with your consciousness, with your awareness, and with all what you are capable, your body is capable for, to create a greater life. And something you're inviting us as well in your body classes is using your body to create your life. And I'm forever grateful, because this is a next level of really what I was asking for. Showing up in a totally different way.
That's so
although awesome. Having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy bodies equals happy living, Yeah. So great. Thank you so much, Marco. That was such a beautiful share. I love that. Just really, yeah. And thank you for you and for being here. And thanks everybody for being here with us and listening and playing along. And
thank you, Heather.
Yeah.
Because happy life without happy body, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. We all know how that works. It doesn't. So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
well, thank you for the space. Thank you for this invitation, this conversation. I wish they really kind of invite more people to know what is possible. And obviously to choose a beautiful class with Heather, because from the before the class, you cannot tell what's going to be.
Yeah.
Not this one. No.
Yeah. And if anybody's interested, that you can go to my website, heathernichols.com/events to see the upcoming body classes. And there's, also things like this series that I mentioned in the beginning that I'm doing. I just started today, an online energetic body, earth, and evolution series. Um, and the Castle body class is it the 16th through the 18th? I think it's,
Exactly.
yeah. So that's at the Castello di Casalbergone in Italy, in northern Italy. Just such a stunning, stunning place. I can't wait to be there. And everything else is on my website. So
And the body class of the castle really invite you to experience the castle as you can book a room, you can have lunch and dinner in the restaurant, you can have cocktails that Heather design. Well, so it's immersive, really experiencing like going forward, something unknown, something beautiful. And thank you for every year show up and invite us to more.
oh, it's such a treat to be there. So I'm grateful. Yeah. Okay. Thanks everybody. Bye.